Hey, welcome back to Cinemania Recapped, and thanks for clicking this recap. In the beginning of the movie, we see our Thor, meaning Tyler Rake, engaged in a fierce battle with the police, armed with his gun. The scene is filled with chaos and destruction everywhere. Suddenly, Tyler is shot from behind, causing him to collapse badly wounded. He crawls to hide behind a car and begins to reload his gun, but we can understand that Tyler is nearing his death. At this moment of time, the memories of his deceased son, who was only 6 years old, flood his mind. In the present climate, the scene goes black. Now the scene shifts to Mumbai, India, where we see a large school. It's dismissal time, and the children are heading home. Among them is a group of 3 friends joking around. One of the friends tells Obie that a girl is smiling at him. His friends encourage him to go talk to her, but he doesn't. Next, we see Obie returning home, where his father's assistant named Saju questions him about why he's late. Obie replies that he was with his friends. In reality, Obie is a very lonely boy. He texts his friends to meet him at a club. The girl who has a deep crush on Obie is also at the club and is looking at him lovingly. One of Obie's friends takes him outside the club and urges him to smoke, saying it will give him the courage to propose to the girl. Just then, some police officers arrive. The cop realizes that Obie and his friend are smoking, and without hesitation, he shoots Obie's friend on the spot and kidnaps Obie. We then see a scene in a prison where Saju has come to meet Obie's father, who is a powerful drug lord serving his sentence. Saju informs him that their rival gang has kidnapped his son. Hearing this, Obie's father is furious and orders Saju to do whatever it takes to free his son from the clutches of Amir Asif, the rival gangster, and threatens Saju to kill his wife and child if he fails. He instructs Saju to go to Dhaka, Bangladesh, and bring his son back as quickly as possible. The scene shifts to Kimberley, Australia, where we see a man throwing stones into the water to measure its depth. Here we see Tyler relaxing with his 2 friends. He gets up, drinks a bottle of beer, and then jumps straight into the water. Tyler dives deep and sits in a meditative pose. By profession, Tyler is a black market mercenary. Mercenaries are those who work for others for money. While underwater, he has some troubling visions that open his eyes. Afterward, he returns home where we see a beautiful girl named Nick, already waiting for him. Nick is the one Tyler works for. She informs him that they've taken on a job to save the life of an Indian boy who has been kidnapped by the mafia gangster, Amir Asif, and is currently in Dhaka with the boy. Nick explains that Amir Asif has a stronghold in Dhaka. As she prepares to head off, Tyler stops her and says that no one else can do this job but him. He agrees to take on the mission, but demands a hefty payment in return. As Nick leaves, Tyler asks her the name of the kidnapped boy. She tells him the boy's name is Obie and that his father is also a drug lord. After this, she leaves from there. We then see Tyler and his team gathering information about Amir Asif. They explain the entire plan to Tyler. Now the scene shifts to Dhaka, Bangladesh, where Tyler has arrived to rescue Obie. He sits there waiting for someone when suddenly his phone rings, and just then, a car pulls up and kidnaps Tyler. The ruffians tie up his hands. Tyler tells them to hand over the boy, promising that his men will transfer the money to their account. One of the goons then shows Tyler Obie's face. After this, the goons start taking Tyler somewhere when suddenly gunfire erupts from a distance. It's Gaten, Tyler's ally. Tyler chokes one of the remaining goons to death and frees his hands. He then returns to the ruffians who had captured him and shoots them all down. Gaetan is also shooting down Asif's goons from a distance. Tyler brutally fights the goons, taking down every one of them in the room. He unties Obie's hands and feet and frees him. He then takes him out of the hideout, gun at the ready. Tyler puts Obie into the trunk of his car. Here, the scene then shifts and we see Amir Asif, a major drug lord in Dhaka, Bangladesh. A boy named Farhad comes near him and pledges his loyalty to Asif, saying he would do anything to prove it. Asif hands him a sharp knife and asks him to cut off his thumb. Just as Farhad was about to do it, Colonel Rashid arrives and informs Asif that Obie has escaped, revealing that even the police are in league with gangster Asif. Asif orders Rashid to lock down the entire city so that Obie cannot escape. We then see Tyler and Obie. Tyler tells Obie that if he wants to stay alive, he must do exactly as he says. Tyler puts on a protective vest equipped with bullets and grenades. He then makes a proof video to show how he rescued Obie from Asif's captivity. Tyler and Obie head toward the extraction point, where Nick is waiting for them. We see a boat ready to take Tyler out of Dhaka. Gaetan is also on the ball. As Tyler and Obie make their way through the jungle towards the extraction point, something goes wrong with the boat. We see that someone else has boarded the boat, and they begin choking and killing everyone on board. Sensing something is amiss, Gaten moves toward the boat to check on his men, but he is shot from a distance. Nick informs Tyler that someone else is also in the jungle apart from them and rapidly approaching their location. Tyler and the unknown masked man spot each other, so Tyler and Obie immediately start to flee. The masked man removes his mask, revealing himself to be none other than Saju, who works for Obie's father. Tyler throws a bomb toward Saju to keep him away. Afterwards, they get away from there. They get into a car and drive off, but soon the police surround them. Tyler tells Obie that these police officers also work for Asif, so if he wants to stay alive, then he must trust Tyler. Now the entire Dhaka police force is now after Tyler and Obie. He quickly reverses his car, causing the vehicle following him with Saju inside to crash severely. Tyler and Obie hide in a nearby building, but the police continue to chase them. Tyler stabs one police officer and then starts shooting the others with his gun. One of the officers starts chasing Obie, but Tyler arrives just in time to shoot him down. Tyler and Obie try to escape, but Saju suddenly appears before them, and now, a fierce fight breaks out between Tyler and Saju, with Tyler gaining the upper hand. But in the midst of their fight, a car comes crashing in and hits Tyler hard. Some police officers try to take Obie away, but Saju arrives in the nick of time and kills the officers and takes control of Obie. Just then, Tyler arrives in a truck and rams it into Saju, knocking him down to the ground. Tyler put Obie in the truck and tries to escape, but the police are still in pursuit. Tyler and Obie jump out of the truck just before it crashes and explodes violently. In the accident, Tyler is badly injured, so Obie helps him to safety. Tyler's right arm is severely wounded, so he asks Obie to bandage it. Just then, Nick calls Tyler and informs him that they have a new ally, Saju, who used to work in special forces. She also reveals to him that Obie's father hasn't sent any money yet and seems to be playing them for fools, so she orders Tyler to leave Obie to die and escape from there immediately. She also mentions that their entire team has been wiped out and that Asif has locked down the entire city. Nick tells Tyler that he must leave Obie behind, but Tyler begins to have visions of his departed son again. He hangs up the phone in no time. Perhaps Tyler sees a reflection of his own son in Obie, which is why he can't bring himself to leave the boy to die. Tyler and Obie continue their escape when they encounter a group of bikers who start shooting at them blindly. Tyler throws a smoke bomb at them and starts fighting them brutally, taking them down one by one. Suddenly, a police helicopter arrives, which forces Tyler to flee. To evade the police, Tyler hides with Obie in a sewer and asks Nick to send Gaspar to help. After a little while, we then see Gaspar arriving to assist Tyler. At one time, Tyler had saved Gaspar's life. Gaspar takes Tyler and Obie in his car to a safer place. Upon reaching, he reveals that they can't leave the city yet because every bridge, airport, and bus station is under lockdown. They have to stay low until things cool down. Afterwards, Gaspar leaves. Tyler brings food for Obie. Obie asks Tyler if he's always been so brave because he saves people. Tyler replies that sometimes he takes lives of people too. Obie asks Tyler about his family. On this, Tyler says he has a beautiful wife, but he hasn't seen her in a long time. Tyler also mentions that he had a son who passed away from cancer. As Tyler talks about this, he becomes emotional and tears well up in his eyes. He says that when his son died, he was on an important mission in Kandahar. After that, Tyler turns off the lights and leaves. A little while later, Gaspar arrives at Tyler's place. He tells Tyler about a plan to become rich overnight. Gaspar suggests that if they kill this boy, then Asif will give them 70 crores, allowing them to travel the world. Gaspar insists that nobody can save Obie now. Even if Tyler frees him and leaves him safely at home, there's no one to guard him over there because his father is in jail. So he tells Tyler to end the boy's misery by shooting him in the head. Tyler responds that Gaspar might be drunk and flatly refuses to kill Obie. Gaspar then draws his gun to kill Obie himself, but Tyler stops him. Their argument escalates into a fierce fight. Gaspar overpowers Tyler, who is already injured. Gaspar is about to kill him when Obie arrives and shoots Gaspar in the chest. The bullet creates a hole in his chest, putting him to death. Now the hunter becomes the hunted. For the first time, Obie feels deep regret about killing someone and tells Tyler that he just wants to go home. Tyler assures him that they will go home together and promises it. Tyler then calls Saju for help, who arrives despite a broken arm. Tyler instructs Saju to take Obie to safety and insists that he doesn't want any money in return. Saju reveals to Tyler that if he doesn't take Obie back to India, then Obie's father will kill his family. Now Tyler tells Saju his plan, as per which he distracts the police, and in the meantime, you take Obie out of here safely. Saying that, Tyler says a final goodbye to Obie. He goes up and begins shooting at the parked police vehicles to divert their attention away from Saju and Obie. As Tyler starts firing indiscriminately at the police, Saju safely takes Obie away. However, after traveling a short distance, Saju finds the road blocked by police who have set up a complete roadblock. Saju and Obie are forced to abandon their vehicle and cross the bridge on foot. The police are heavily patrolling the bridge. As Saju and Obie carefully make their way, one of the police officers becomes suspicious and asks Saju and Obie to stop then and there. The cop asks Obie to take off his cap. As Obie takes off his hat, Saju opens fire on the police officers present there. Asif, the drug lord, is watching all this from a distance through his binoculars. Saju hides Obie behind a car and goes to combat with the police. A police team reaches there by helicopter and starts shooting at Saju indiscriminately. Surrounded by police, Saju calls for Tyler's help. Nick arrives to assist Tyler in this crisis of time and uses a rocket launcher to target and destroy the helicopter. Meanwhile, Tyler shoots his way through the police to reach Saju as soon as possible. He tosses grenades into a police vehicle to clear his path. Tyler's fighting skills are so exceptional. Now Obie emerges from his hiding spot and moves to another location, avoiding the approaching police. Saju arrives and kills the police officers, but is then shot in the head by Colonel Rashid, resulting in a painful death. One by one, Tyler's companions are being killed, but Tyler continues to fight to reach Obie, who is now completely alone after Saju's death. Rashid targets Tyler and shoots him in his back, leaving him severely injured. Nick spots Rashid and takes him out with a sniper shot. Tyler is now gravely wounded, experiences a flashback of his deceased 6-year-old son. Obie comes to Tyler and takes his hand and realizes that Tyler is on his last breaths. Obie pleads with Tyler not to leave him this way. Nick arrives to help, and Tyler urges Obie to run to the helicopter to save his life. Therefore, Obie runs toward the helicopter while Tyler gathers his strength again to keep shooting at the police. However, a bullet from behind strikes him in the nape, because of which he collapses instantly. This bullet was from Farhad, whom Tyler had spared. Obie runs to his aid, but Nick stops him, fearing for Obie's safety. Tyler looks at Obie, perhaps he was saying his final goodbye. He then falls into the water below the bridge while remembering his son. Nick, Obie, and the whole extraction team escape to Mumbai by helicopter. Asif watches all this from afar, but is unable to do anything. Now, the scene shifts and we see Obie at his college, reminiscing about Tyler. 8 months later, we see Asif in men's washroom, where Nick makes herself available to shoot him in the middle of his forehead, which causes his inevitable killing. In the closing scene of the movie, we see Obie diving into a swimming pool, reflecting on the golden moments spent with Tyler. As he feels a presence around him, he surfaces to see someone watching him from a distance, and with this heartwarming scene, the movie comes to an end. Dear viewers, this movie has another part, meaning part 2. If you want it, then comment in comment box, then I will make a video on that too. Till then, take care of yourself.